Good evening everyone. In this video, we will see what are the different types of network commands are available and how we can use them in our day-to-day. So before going to jump into that, if anyone not subscribed my channel, can you please subscribe my channel? So before going to discuss network commands, first we can see why these network commands. If you want to do any investigations in terms of security, or we need to know some details about what is the server, what is the server name, what is the IP address, what is the MAC, and what is the default gateway, what port it is listening, where and all its routing, and which servers we connected, and who is the user, what is the authentication type. So we need to know all this information. We can use network commands and we can get those details. So here are the few network commands I have listed out. So considering that real time and security and in terms of our day-to-day activities. So the first command is we can use host name. So host name is one of the network command we can use check the system name or which server host you logged in, or we can come to know what is the asset name, system name, FQDN name, which is fully qualified domain name or computer name. So asset name, system name, FQDN name, computer name, all these names are synonyms of host name. So let's go to that command prompt. See here, if we can enter host name, we can come to know what is the host name of this server. So using this host name, sometimes if we can get that security alert, we can come to know that alert example should be, so this server is compromised 10.10.0.0.1 or server A by malware. Like that we can get that alert. So using that alert we can come to know what is the host name or IP address. So that is about host name. And the second command is ping command. So ping command we can use frequently in our day-to-day base. Okay, so ping is a just message. Example, if we can take WhatsApp, we are going to ping. That means we can send a message and after that we can get the response. So that is where which we can use to verify whether the server is up and running, or verify the device is active or inactive, or it is in online or offline. So using ping we can come to know destination server is active or not. When the server is getting compromised, example, if the server is getting compromised, or whenever you are doing some patch management, example quarterly patches or OS patches, and if the server is down by the user, one of the user he shut down the server, in all these scenarios the server is not pinging. That means the server or system went down, or it may be is in inactive mode. So that is where we can use the ping command. We can verify it whether the server is reachable or not. So let's see how we can verify. Example, if we can see here, ping. So the syntax is ping space IP address. If you can give it. So I can give 10.0.0.1. So if you can give here, I can say I didn't get any response. Okay, so that means this is in inactive. It is not reachable. See here, received packet loss 100% actually packet loss. It has taken time 9217 milliseconds. 10 packets is transmitted, but didn't receive any packet actually. So this is unreachable. Same way, instead of giving this, IP addresses, we can give the ping space. We can give www.google.com. Okay. So see here, we can get that some response here. I have sent 4 packets transmitted. See, this is the first packet, second packet, and third packet. So here, TTL, this is one of thing we need to know. Now we can see whether this FQDN name is reachable or not. Okay, or we can see whether this FQDN is active or inactive, or we can see whether it is up or down. So now we can see here, this is the IP address, and here TTL, time to live. This is the time it has taken reach the Google and get the response. Okay, so this is the time it is has taken to reach the Google and to get the response. Okay, so and apart from that, when we are using the ping command, what is happening? The ping command will be use one protocol which is called ICMP. Very important. So ICMP is Internet Control Message Protocol. That means it is a message oriented protocol, but it doesn't have any port number of the ICMP protocol. So the important of ICMP protocol is to give the information about what type of service is running, what is the message it will be responded back. So just it will send and receive the messages. Okay, so this is about ping command actually. So example, if we can ping any IP addresses, if we cannot get the response, okay, so what is that conclusion? The conclusion is the server which we pinged, okay, it is not running or it is down. That means it is not reachable. So using ping command, if we can get the response, that server is active. If we cannot get the response, that is inactive or it is not reachable. So there are 255, okay, 255 different types of ICMP messages are there. If you can go to the Google, so I will take one more class for that. So we need to remember at least 2 ICMP messages. Okay, so ICMP messages means it's a Internet Control Message Protocol. Just it will send and receive the messages. Okay, so ICMP message type 0 means what it is represented means echo reply. Whenever we say echo reply means destination is reachable. Okay, so suppose example, whenever we will ping, we can get that response. That response is called echo reply. So that is where ICMP type 0 means echo reply. Echo reply means if you ping, we can get the response. ICMP message type 1 or type 3 means the destination is unreachable. If we can try to ping, if we cannot get that response, that is called type 3 ICMP message. Type 0 IPMP messages means we can ping it, we can get the response. So that is about ICMP. If we can see here, so later I can take one more class for that. And the next thing is wget and curl command. So wget and curl command, which we can use to download the packages from that internet to the server, or we can use curl command. We can check the connectivity also. If we have application, we can set up that URL. We need to see curl-v, the application URL. We can come to know if we can get the 200 response, that means that will be working. If we can get some error codes, we need to verify. Let's see how to download that packages using wget command. So before going to that, we can go to the internet. Okay, see here I am going to download Jenkins war file. So here what we can do, so this is that war file. Here are the versions are available. If you can take this link, copy link address, then you can go to here. wget is the command. We can use this URL. See, it is trying to download. At the same way, we can use that, curl also we can able to download it. See, Jenkins start what is downloaded. Okay, so if you can see date 20, 27, 29, but it's showing this was, it's actually the package is built. Okay, so that is about duplicate and curl. If you can use curl space -v, if you can enter anything, 1 second, control C, curl -v. Curl-v, we can come to know. So what is the response, whether this connectivity is happening or not. So all those details we can come to know. It will give that verbose information actually, the curl. Okay. So this is about the curl and duplicate. The next thing is telnet and SSH. Okay. So telnet and SSH is the one of the network command which we can use to connect from one server to another server. So telnet is telecommunication network protocol. The port number is 23, and which we can use to log into the one Linux server to another Linux server. Even telnet will work in the Windows as well, but telnet will not use any public or private key to connect to the server. So it is secureless protocol. So that is where whenever if you want to connect to the server or one server to another server, we can use SSH protocol. So SSH means it's a secure shell. So the port number is 22, or we can use different port numbers also. But while connecting from one server to another server, we can use SSH keys. So I already made one video on this. So could you please go ahead in our channel. So how we can connect, I will give that syntax. So here if we can go to the server, SSH, we can give user name, and we can give that IP address 10.0.0.1. This is the one thing, and we have to give the password, or we can use the SSH, any domain name. Okay, so we can give like this. So SSH is the protocol which we can use to connect. Even we can use telnet also, same thing. Telnet, and we can give IP port number. Okay, so IP of the server, we have to give the port number of the server. Same way we can give, instead of IP, we can give the domain name also. So this is how we are going to connect to it. Okay, and apart from that, we will see one more protocol which is called traceroute. So SSH we are using frequently to connect to the server, and we can connect to the server without password also, using passwordless connection. So now we can see what is the trace route. So what is the trace route and where we can use it? Basically, most of the cases, the trace route command, the NOC team will be used, network operations center. Okay, so they can use it frequently to identify in between source and destination, how many default gateways are there, how many hops are there, and sometimes they can use this command to identify where is the exact issue, whether router is getting or causing issues, or switch is causing issue, or may hop is causing issue, or any duplex issue, or sometimes we can come to know some broadcast route issues. All those issues we can able to identify by using the trace route. Okay, so this will be useful in the network operations center. They can identify all kind of issues. So the syntax is, so you can use trace route, we can give www.google.com. So now see, this is the trace route it is going on. The first trace route will happening. So all this thing from source and destination we are getting actually. So what is happening, what is the time it's taken. So all these things, how many packets are sent, how many hops will be given. Okay, so all those details it will be given actually from the Google point of view. So this is about trace route. Even if we can give the trace route space IP also we can give it. So this will give the detailed information about the trace route. The next command is NS lookup. Very, very important. We can use our day-to-day activities actually. So what is NS lookup? What it will do? It will use to convert IP addresses into the domain name and domain name into the IP addresses. But let's say in practical where we can use this NS lookup command in our day-to-day work. For example, if the server is compromised, okay, for example, if the server is compromised, we ran that server in somewhere, but we are not sure whether it is really Windows server, Linux server, or Mac or desktop. Okay, so now how we can identify this? Whether that server is belongs to the Linux or Windows or Mac, how we can identify? Okay, so now what we have to do is we need to take the IP addresses of that server or mission from alert what we have received from the security tool or monitoring tool. If the server is compromised, we can get some alerts, right? Those alerts, example, we can get it from the security tool or monitoring tool. So from that IP, from that mission name or host name, if we can get that alert from the security tool, like say example 10.0.0.1 mission got compromised by the malware, if we can see message like that, then we can get this kind of alerts. First we can see what time this alert can be triggered and what time is incident happen. So after gathering this information, now we have to go and coordinate with the Active Directory team, then verify with them who is connected to the system or server on that time and what is the host name or server name. Okay, we need to get those details because the AD team will be provided the information related to the servers and systems and its IP addresses. So it is assigned what IP addresses assigned at the time and what user authenticated in the domain control. All those things we can get it. So we can see that example if we can go here. So how the syntax will be happen NS lookup. So we can give www.google.com. We can come to know IP address actually here. See IP address we can get it. Okay, naming to IP. Okay, and even if we can give some DNS, public DNS 8.8.8.8, see here we can get IP to naming. Okay, here naming to IP it's converted and here IP to naming it's converted. So this is how the NS lookup will be. And the next thing is MAC address. So if you want to see that MAC addresses of the system or server, how we can see it? So there are, we can see into get MAC address, get MAC or get MAC -all in Windows. And it comes to that if config we can use in the Linux. So if config pipe symbol grep you can use here that we can come to know. So this is our MAC address. Okay. So this is how we can get it, or even we can identify if config -a also we can get it actually. So we need to grep it. So somewhere. Okay. So ether. So this is that MAC address actually. Okay. And apart from that, we can see one more command is called netstat. So using netstat, we can come to know what port is assigned to the particular service or process, what port is listening, what port is not listening. Example, netstat pipe symbol grep, we can give it 80. See here, 8080. Okay, this port is not listening Unix 3, so it's not listening actually. So like this, if you want to come to 9090, what port is listening, what port is not listening, we can come to know exactly. Okay, so now there is no ports are running. While discussing the tools, that time I will show you actually. Okay, and if you can see that 2022 it may running, see here 2022 is the shell actually, so we can come to it. Okay, and the next command is ARP. So the ARP is address resolution protocol. It will convert or map IP address to the MAC address. Okay, so which we can use to convert or map IP address to the MAC address. The syntax is, if you can see, ARP-A, if you can enter, so here we can come to know how we can convert this IP addresses into the MAC. Okay, so this is how it will convert. And apart from that, so we can see if config. So if config and IP addresses, IP address if config is the latest command where we can see it, IP address will be can able to execute in the Windows command actually. IP address -a, if we can enter, so we can come to know a lot of details actually. So when we can enter this IP address -a, we can get what is the host name, MAC address, primary DNS or secondary DNS, DHCP, what is the default gateway, what is the subnet mask, all those details we can get it from the Windows IP address -all. If we can see that if config, here also we can get it. See here, what is that IP address, what is the net mask, what is the broadcast IP, what is that MAC address. So all those things we can able to get it here also. Okay, so these are that couple of network commands, but frequently ping we can use it, host name, SSH, NS lookup, and netstart command we can use it. These commands also we can use it whenever we can get that incident, when the server is compromised, we can get that alerts, right? That time we need to know all those things actually. So whenever there is a requirement, we need to aware of all these network commands we can use to get the detailed information about incident. Thanks for watching. So could you please like, share and subscribe. If you need doubts, could you please comment in my channel.